I asked a photographer if he minded if I fed this starving kitten, and he said, hold off on that. I just want to capture its desperation. But of course the kitten collapsed in death, and it didn't seem to bother him. He got the shot for his Instagram reel. Doesn't mean if 5 of them sent me their shots, I wouldn't look.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
If you must be on this award-winning show, email cameraconspiracies@disciples.com. One photo, tell me what you shot on. Leave an exact link to your socials. Some guy was like, I couldn't find the first guy because you either deleted your Instagram out of fear or you misspelled the damn thing. I just copy and paste. All right, first shot, that seems private. It's a private issue you're having here. Oh, did not allow this. Let's keep it PG if you don't mind, but if we're examining the shot, beautiful colors, is it not? Fuji vintage touch with a laowa macro lens. Dare you dream that thing. Does it have pop? I'm doubting it, but it doesn't seem to matter in this shot. Beautiful Fuji colors. I like the hues, just very soft and pleasing. Now I'm sorry you can't unsee this shot, but I also captured some ladybugs, and they were in their own bedroom and saying, if you don't mind, we're about to get busy. So like, please leave us alone. And I left after taking the photo. So like next to your shot, okay, mine's not as good, admittedly, and it's weird. I wish I could leave. Oh, yay. A moth, like really far away. That's an awesome shot with a 30mm lens, a Sigma too. Who needs to pop the leaves out? I don't need to know where we are. I love the flat clinical rendering where everything's just, who cares what it is? You don't have to be in that forest. You have a moth. Those are interesting, huh? They're brown. That's a color. That's a great shot. Thanks for sharing it. I saw a moth once, but he was driving a truck. He was a hired moth. Who else could drive that truck but a moth? And then like if you need to get over a bump, you just fly a bit. He brings the truck. He says, that's a strong moth right there. And that's a sight to behold. Unlike your boring moth, you were just in a rainforest where it never rained. And I didn't know where I was because there was a flat Sigma lens. Just stop using them. So many people bitch about Canon not allowing third-party lens manufacturers to autofocus, and it's like, oh no, I can't have Sigma and Tamron flat clinical nightmares. We're on the Sony CV1 is Zeiss Batis, of course. Well, you definitely captured it in close to the right frame. I would say like the next frame when he's just a bit more and his tiny tail isn't still touching the green leaf in the back would have been the perfect shot. Except, of course, you're on a Canon R7 with a dynamic range of a little Kodak point and shoot. But like, whatever. Sure, you blew some highlights in that one. That's fine, it's in focus somewhat. I wouldn't say there's a lot of pop on it, but I saw one of those, a Caspian tern, I do believe that is. And I was like, wow, that's an interesting seagull. That's a different kind of seagull with a black hat. Wouldn't mind that. So like, all right, you captured the shot, you documented it. I was not inspired. I left your life immediately. Remember earlier when I said I also saw a Caspian tern? Mine was catching a pretty large fish, and he was up for the task. He's like, I'm hungry. If you don't mind, you're coming with me, sir. And the fish could do nothing. Even though you're heavy, doesn't mean the little guy isn't gonna punch you in the mouth. Especially if they're old and experienced and they have old man strength. You know what I mean? So like next to your shot, nothing happened. You're overexposed, no 3D pop. I have all those factors and more, plus danger. You suck. It's a beautiful shot, is it not? Not bad. Just my only advice would be maybe start walking towards the damn thing where you're not like 15 miles away from it and you're like, oh, what's that? Like obviously he would run and you suck at your job, you suck at being camouflaged and you smell like meat. So he's like, that's a meat eater. So he's probably gonna kill me for my meat. I mean, you got some birds. It's a cool shot. It's just like, get a longer lens or start walking, you know, that thing where you're not hiding. I saw a deer once. He was flying a helicopter, starting a war. You would think they're peaceful creatures. They're not. They just want to destroy you and the world. That's why they eat the leaves off of trees, hoping that that tree will no longer produce oxygen and humans die. That's a real dear insight into their hearts and mind. So like next to your shot, it's Fuji magic. You have the Fuji magic touch. 100 to 400, I ain't hating on that combo, I'll tell you that much. Get the 500mm prime, you might have got something, but you didn't. All right, last shot before the Hall of Shame entries, which I think there's more Hall of Shame than real ones today. I was like, what the hell is this? I was bombarded with mediocrity. Okay, you have a moth, another moth. A lot of moths lately, but interesting colors. Not bad, purple. What are you shooting on? Konica damage 22. Oh God, that's not even a thing. A 38 to 380, that exists. No one's ever gonna do that again. I don't know, man. Like your old ass shit. The film's got a lot of dust everywhere. It's an okay shot. You're not blowing anyone away, but you took it. You went for a walk. You pointed down. Good for you. Thanks for nothing. If you're gonna capture a moth, make sure it's trying to kill a tiger or something. Have an interesting thing be happening with the moth. You can't just send in a moth shot and think, I'll probably win the show with that. It's a moth. Like your moth, okay, you have some purple leaves. That's cool. Like what else do you have? $20 if you don't mind sending it to Bitcoin? I'll take it. All right, who won that show? And then we'll get into 6 frickin' Hall of Shame entries. We had the ladybugs having sex with this flat moth, a bunch of flat Sigma moths, overexposed Caspian tern doing nothing. Oh God, the deer 500 cities away from him. Oh, another moth, the purple flower moth. God help us. Who won that shot? I think you give it to the ladybugs. At least that's an intro. That could probably be on like a magazine or something. It's like, oh my God, they have sex too? Or he's just trying to climb over to get better leaf. Leaves taste different on the leaf. You go to a certain spot. You know what I mean? So congratulations to you. And now for the Hall of Shame entries. It's just you and your cat on a what? On a who cares? Like your phone. Look at me, I have a flash. No one wants to see you and your cat in bed. Where's your breakfast? Your girlfriend didn't bring it to you. It's because you're failing at life. What on God's green earth, man? Like the composition, you're chopping off tires, you're getting trees, and nothing is good about this. It's not interesting. There's no person walking. Usually you wait for someone to walk in between the cars and they're like, oh my God, there's an old man. Wow, my shot's so good now. Nothing happened because it was so late. You're drunk. Go home. What on God's green? Like, why? You're trying to win a show here and you're sending this like a snapshot of some guy's family. Like, what even is this supposed to be? Just like, yeah, a guy somehow finding time to work out even though he has kids. They're all desperately starving. Who cares about his whole life? This is almost nothing. Almost nothing happened. It's just like icy water droplet. Oh my God, it's macro. Look at the, ooh. I so bore of you. Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now, trying to win a show with this? The old ass man who refuses to crouch down and get a good shot. It looks like he's taking a picture of his own pants or something. If you look into the screen, it looks like it's just, like, what are you even doing at this point? And your shot was even worse. You're clearly on like a film camera or something. Let's just point down at everything. How about you crouch? You frickin' knee boy. Then you might have had something. Focus on just the swans and then like some tuna in the background and oh my God, there's an old man up here. What's he doing? And last shot here. Oh boy. Oh boy, you can't just, you can't do it. You can't just go to a garage sale and buy stuff like that. Like, nobody wants it in their house. Don't know why that was made. Who made it? Is it for sale? I'll try one. I'll try it hard, but just no thank you. So I have an interesting purchase announcement that I will keep from you, but videos are coming. I would have recorded on it right now, but I've already seen the results, and let's just say speed boosting a full frame lens to a full frame camera is not the best way to live your life. So I'm on my way to buy a proper adapter now, and then you will see a couple interesting video comparisons, and then we'll get to know the real hero. Thank you for sending in your terrible shots today. Bitcoin is available to be left from your wallet into mine. Subscribe for my understanding.